With the Home Depot app, you'll pick it up in no time. You can pick up new skills in our Homeowner 101 workshops. Pick up new power tools with a tap. Pick up the things you need at our convenient lockers, or even pick them up right from your doorstep. Pick up more of what you need so you can do more of what you love. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
Martin Luther King Jr. was an activist for not just black people, but all people.
Definitely made a lasting impact on the world.
You just think about someone who had a positive message, always somebody who wanted change.
It made people realize that at the end of the day, we're all human beings.
I'm only one person, but my voice has the power.
Being on teams where I have sisterhoods with people that don't look like me.
His legacy is about love.
His bravery inspired me to use my voice to speak out on what I believe in, regardless of what people think.
He never stopped fighting for what he believed in.
Just keep fighting until change come about. So I believe us as young men have to carry on the dream.
Take a stand for what we think is right.
Know that working together to achieve his dream is the only way to be successful.
To inspire others that don't have a voice.
Speak up and just be the change and be inclusive.
To never underestimate how powerful your voice can be.
To invest in yourself and invest in others.
The things that I dream about will be reality in the future.
Thank you for joining us to celebrate Dr. King Weekend. And welcome to Mizzou Arena in Columbia, Missouri, as we honor Pat Summitt and her continued impact on women's basketball, both on and off the court. We're anticipating a great battle tonight. Georgia, who just moved up to number 13 in the AP poll today, puts that on the line against Missouri, who is undefeated at home. As we take a look at the SEC standings, Tennessee sits atop at number 1. Georgia and Missouri both at 2-2 need a win to stay within striking distance of that top tier. Along with former Gator Steffi Sorensen, I'm Brenda Van Lengen, and Steffi, both these teams have a dynamic duo to lead them.
Well, they're led by their super seniors. Let's start with Georgia, 6'4" Jenna Stady. She's pro-ready. She is the rim protector. She runs the floor. She can also score at 2, averaging 21 the last 2 games. And Q Morrison, the heart and soul of this team. She is their defender. She can shoot the 3. They will rely on her heavily today against a Missouri team that can score it. Let's start with Haley Frank. She has hit 14 threes in her last 4 games, Brenda. It's not often your post player is a top 10 3-point threat, but Haley Frank is that and then some. And then Asia Blackwell, best in the country at rebounding. She gets it done. She imposes her will on teams. She will need to do that against a tough, physical Georgia team tonight.
And we are looking forward to this matchup tonight. This Georgia team with a come-from-behind win over Alabama and then a week off to get ready to come into Mizzou Arena, and Georgia with the first possession of the game. Missouri's been on the road their last 2 games and have lost their last 2 games. Of course, they had that big upset over number 1 South Carolina, and Barker getting things started for the Lady Bulldogs. As we look at the Missouri starting lineup, Dembella, Hansen, Troop, Blackwell, and Frank. Hansen on fire in that LSU loss. 7 3-pointers in that game. And we're looking forward to the 3-point shooting for Missouri against the inside game of Georgia. And a steal by Barker. Q Morrison stops and pops. And Steffi, this Georgia team has not been starting well, but this is the kind of start they were looking for.
Well, especially Sarah Ashley Barker. She closes games out, but she needs to start strong. So for her to get an early bucket is key for Georgia.
Along with Morrison and Stady that we talked about, Barker, Coombs, and Isaacs get the start, and another 3 for Barker. 7-0 start for the Lady Bulldogs.
Clearly the message was sent by Joni Taylor today at shoot-around that we cannot afford any more slow starts and getting down and having to play back into games. They want to come out and get things going at the jump. Message received.
Getting around the defender, Haley Frank taking care of getting the Tigers on the board. Coombs shut off, and she sets things back up. Hugh Morrison. And Coombs tracks it down. Boy, Georgia, they've been behind, you mentioned it, by 16 points or more in 3 of their 4 SEC games, and they have come out tough. Joni Taylor, the reigning SEC Coach of the Year. We talked to her about how did you address those slow starts, and she said specifically, we watched every play of those starts, and message has been received.
Not fun to be in the long film sessions, is it, Brenda? Not what you want to be doing, but a lot to learn. And something that she said to us was that, you know, they play really well together, and they do have chemistry, but just because you can come back in the game, you don't want to have that false security of, oh, we're going to get back in the game each and every time out, because the SEC is too deep this year.
Yeah, this is too tough of a place to play to get down early, and that's a big reason why the shooting from the perimeter by Lauren Hansen has been on fire this year.
She's doubled her point production, and she's looking for her shot. And the threes certainly amp up this Missouri team and crowd.
Robin Pinchton in her 12th season, averaging 23 wins per year, and she has made Mizzou Arena one of the most feared places in the SEC to come play.
So talking to Robin Pinchton of, you know, Missouri's an undersized team going up against a taller, you know, physical Georgia team. Jenna Stady, obviously 6'4", as we talked about at the top. They're putting Asia Blackwell on her to start. So Robin Pinchton, she's no stranger to knowing that we're going to be undersized in most games, and they play a man, but they really do a great job of scouting their opponent based on percentages, habits. This team locks in defensively, and they take you out of your offense. So far, Georgia's looked pretty good, though.
Yeah, a little pick and roll action, though, off the foot. I thought it was, off Stady, and it will be Missouri basketball. So Blackwell takes a seat for Missouri. Dembella going to bring the ball up. Yeah, into the game early is Jayla Kelly, who's going after that rebound, trying to save it back in, but into the hands of Stady. Robin Pinchton talked to us about the fact that she'd like to get sophomore Jayla Kelly into action a little earlier today. And the whistle blown on Georgia. The offensive foul called.
This is what I was talking about, the challenges of facing a Missouri team is understanding who's likely to be able to, you're able to take a charge on, strengths and weaknesses.
Now an offensive foul called on the screen on Jayla Kelly. And screening is a big part of the Missouri offense, but Kelly into the game as Robin Pinchton cheers her on, commits the turnover by the moving screen. Back-to-back turnovers for Georgia on their last 2 possessions. Coombs with the jumper.
I think Coombs is somewhat of an X factor for Georgia. She's averaged 12 in their last 2 games. I feel like when they can get double digits out of her, that really helps Georgia offensively, just to maintain rhythm, avoid scoring lulls when she's looking for her shot.
Back iron and good hustle by Dembella. Maybe Frank thought about it. Kelly kicks it out and a 3-second call. So getting Jayla Kelly into the game early, a couple of turnovers for the sophomore, and we go the other way. Sarah Rose Smith checking in for Missouri, and Asia Blackwell back on the court. Blackwell has not scored yet, hasn't taken a shot yet. Stady kicks it out. Nice inside, outside to set that one up.
Georgia loves to run the high-low option out of their offense, but just a different way of getting into it, running guards off double screens just to free up Jenna Stady.
Well defended by Georgia. As we talked about this Missouri team, screening's a big part of the Tigers game. We'll show it to you coming up. Screening to win.
It's still the Eat Fresh Refresh.
Son, it's time we had the talk.
No, Dad. T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places, so even here, I can use my new iPhone 13 Pro with 5G to share this video I made with your mom in cinematic mode. What? Plus, with speeds as fast as Wi-Fi nationwide, I can upload this fast.
I'm not sure you want to share that.
Too late. Already hit send.
T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places than anyone. Just one of the reasons T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
Welcome back to Mizzou Arena as Georgia with the early 13-5 lead over the Tigers. And this Tigers team has been so tough at home. Along with Steffi Sorensen, I'm Brenda Van Lingen. And of course, they knocked off South Carolina at home. They've been so tough year in and year out. And setting screens and ball movement and people movement, such an important part of their game, Steffi.
Their motion offense is just so difficult to defend, and that upset against South Carolina was one for the ages, an incredible game, but that last play is really an indication of how difficult it is to defend Missouri. And we're going to take a look at that because it was unbelievable. Laura Hansen scores this shot, but there's a lot to it. Let's check out the screening by Haley Frank. There's one, there's another. Now Hansen gets free, she drives to the bucket. But if we go back and look at how many screens took place, here's the first one. A little flat screen to free up Mama at the point guard position. Here comes the down screen. This is the second screen by Frank. And then a third screen, an on-ball screen. Think about how many decisions as a defender you have to make to try and prevent your man from scoring. That's what makes Missouri so tough to guard.
And you see that in their motion offense all the time, and it's led to great numbers. They've got some of the top numbers in the SEC and in the country. They're 47%, fifth in the country, 39% from three-point range. They make 8.4 three-pointers a game, and it's so much moving and cutting and playing to set each other up.
Talking to Robin Pynchon today about, they're where they're at right now in terms of the season, and she's been pleased offensively with them, but defensively she really wants them to get down in the trenches, be a little bit more gritty, a little bit more tougher, and partially too is to clean up the turnovers. And Brenda, 5 so far in this first quarter, and they've kind of shot themselves in the foot. We haven't been able to see them really get going, get into their rhythm offensively because of the turnovers, and Georgia's capitalized 6 points off of those.
Yeah, Missouri 4 turnovers in their last 6 possessions, and Georgia has taken advantage of that. Stady tries to go high-low and just out of the reach, but it is off Missouri. Isaacs couldn't corral it. 17 on the shot clock. Barker covered up quickly by Blackwell. Coombs out top. Here comes the ball screen. Coombs all the way to the rim, short. And Missouri not able to corral it, but they're saying Missouri basketball.
You're gonna have to.
And they're saying it touched the floor before that, maybe off Stady. I mean, there were a lot of yellow jerseys around that basketball.
There were. Favorable call. Missouri will take it.
Foul called on Morrison. That's Q Morrison's second foul, so that's something to keep an eye on here in the first quarter if she's defending the ball. Haley Frank, one of the best follow-throughs in the game, can't get that one to go in. She's leading the SEC in three-point percentage, but couldn't knock that one down, and a bit of a cold start for the Tigers. And Isaacs off the mark.
Asia Blackwell just trying to be physical, Brenda, with Jenna Stady when she catches the ball on the block. Keep in mind, Asia Blackwell just about 6 feet, right? She's not as tall as Jenna, but trying to push her up off the block, trying to turn her into a passer as opposed to a scorer.
Missouri has not scored in almost 4 minutes. And even with the size difference against most teams, still Asia Blackwell leading the nation in rebounding so far this year, which is just incredible. Isaacs to the opposite side of the rim, and she's fouled. Isaacs is a player, Jordan Isaacs, that only averages a little over 2 points per game, and she's already surpassed that with 2 buckets early.
Showing some athleticism on that take. And, you know, I look at Jordan Isaacs as a glue player. I mean, she may not have a lot of the flash like Jenna Stady or Q Morrison, but she does all the little things, the dirty work, whatever Joni Taylor asks of her, she does it. That's why she sees the floor.
7-0 run for Georgia.
Missouri's got to find some offense. I think they got to establish Blackwell.
There she is, Blackwell, stopped by Stady. Probing, looking, fading. Got it. Quickly down the floor to Coombs. Another jumper for Michaela Coombs. She's got 4.
So, you know, when we talked to Joni Taylor about who would be really key and who she's challenged leading up to this point, it was Sarah Ashley Barker and Michaela Coombs. They needed more out of them. So far, a good start for the two.
Well, you said that Asia Blackwell needed to get going inside.
Well, she just needed some touches. Get her involved on the offensive side of the floor. And you can see the impact of Jenna Stady at 6'4", knowing she wants to block shots, but the skill set that Blackwell has to turn around and avoid her shot being blocked.
Jordan Isaacs picked up the foul, her first foul. Q Morrison went to the bench with those 2 fouls for Georgia, and another turnover for Missouri. 6 now for the Tigers. And Chloe Chapman going to run point with Q Morrison out. Georgia escaped Athens. They had some bad weather moving in and decided to come to Columbia on Saturday, so they spent the entire weekend here.
Okay, but Brenda, in all fairness, it wasn't a big deal to you, right? You were like, we had a few inches of snow. That's a big deal to someone in like Florida. Like, that's a lot.
Okay, Hanson all the way in. Yeah, I know for somebody in Florida, yes, but
that's chilly.
In Columbia, got a couple of inches of snow. Barker, how about that? Another one for Barker, 2 for 2 from 3-point range. She's got 8 points here in the early going, and Georgia with a 21-9 lead with just about a minute to go in the first quarter. Steffi, Missouri is not a team that typically has a hard time getting into a rhythm. What do they need to do to get into an offensive rhythm?
Well, first of all, they got to take care of the ball. And I think that that's kind of plagued them because Missouri is very much a rhythm team. And when you're turning the ball over, your offense starts to get choppy. So they got to take care of the basketball. I think a couple buckets really make Georgia defend for that full 30. Run through your offense, set a lot of screens, wear them down, and there will be a breakdown at some point, and then you'll get your open look. I think they played a little bit too fast paced, and then they're turning it over, so just not playing to their strengths right now.
So the foul was called on Lauren Hansen. She's going to take a seat for the rest of the quarter. Jenna Stady, the only starter for Georgia who hasn't scored so far, has a seat, and Chloe Chapman off the bench hits the jumper. So things going well early for Georgia, 64%. They're 9 of 14 from the field. And a foul as Haley Troop takes it to the basket. It's a 14-4 run for Georgia as Haley Troop going to try to add to the Missouri cause. Zoisha Smith checking into the game. That's the second foul on Isaacs. So already for Georgia, Morrison and Isaacs, two of the starters with 2 fouls, as Troop misses her first. Sunday the 23rd, the 11th annual We Back Pat Week continues with a women's basketball quadruple header that starts with 2 games on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Number 23 Kentucky hosts Ole Miss at noon Eastern. Then the 5th-ranked Lady Vols are in Athens to take on this number 13 Georgia team. Tennessee right now sitting atop the conference standings at 6-0. 14 seconds remaining in the quarter. Georgia with a great start. Chapman. And a 3-second count inside. So Georgia not going to get the final shot of the quarter. Gives Missouri a chance, and some quick substitutions for Missouri to try to take advantage. Dembella gets a screen at half court and just off the mark. So Missouri held to just 36% shooting from the field in the first quarter. The Lady Bulldogs was 64%, and they lead by 13.
We picked.
Drops down for 3. Van Lith lays it in.
Here's Smith.
Donna Smith doing everything.
Son, it's time we had the talk. No, Dad. T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places, so even here, I can use my new iPhone 13 Pro with 5G to share this video I made with your mom in cinematic mode. What? Plus, with speeds as fast as Wi-Fi nationwide, I can upload this fast.
I'm not sure you want to share that.
Too late. Already hit send.
T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places than anyone. Just one of the reasons T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
About to start the second quarter here in Columbia, Missouri. Georgia up 23-10. They haven't been getting good starts lately, but they got one today thanks to Sarah Ashley Barker.
Sarah Ashley Barker has started this game on fire, and that was the challenge Joni Taylor talked to her about coming into this game. We need you at the tip, and she's delivered. And one thing that Joni Taylor asked of her is, you can't hesitate. You got to look for your shot, come off the screen ready to shoot, and I've seen that from Sarah Ashley Barker. And to me, she's such an important part of this offense because so much pressure goes on to Jenna Stady, Q Morrison. How do we slow them down? When she's hitting shots and Michaela Coombs is getting up and down the floor, you know, that makes Georgia really difficult to defend.
And as you see, they have not started well in SEC play in their first 4 games, -25. And in this game, on the road at Missouri, they're a plus 13, so couldn't have asked for a better start. The only thing to keep an eye on, Q Morrison and Jordan Isaacs both with 2 fouls for Georgia. And Missouri just really hasn't gotten untracked. This Georgia team finished the quarter on a 14-5 run, and we just haven't seen any kind of a rhythm offensively for Missouri, and that includes 6 turnovers.
Yeah, shooting just 36% from the floor. Brenda, and this is a Missouri team that's 5th in the country in field goal percentage, 9th in the country in 3-point field goal percentage. I mean, that's offensively elite.
Right.
And you have to credit Georgia's defense just clunking this thing up, not making it smooth for Missouri.
Q Morrison back on the floor defending Troop. That ball knocked away as they try to go inside to Asia Blackwell, and they say last touch by Blackwell, so it's another turnover for Missouri. Mallory Bates into the game, providing a good double team there on Blackwell. Georgia looking at the zone defense for Missouri. Morrison bumped on the baseline. It's going to be a foul on Troop. That's her first.
One thing to keep in mind as Missouri switches to zone is rebounding. Georgia, a great rebounding team. They've got to make sure that they're putting a body on somebody and they're securing that rebound. We know Asia Blackwell will, that's for sure.
Need a rebound? You got one. And a nice pass and a nice reverse layup by Mama Dembella. Nice kick out. Chapman. No. A couple of missed jumpers for Georgia here, and just not able to track it down is Zoisha Smith.
You want a rebound? You got one with Asia Blackwell, leading the country in rebounding, but this heads-up play to find her teammate running in transition. Talked to Robin Pynchon about the pace of this game. She doesn't want it to be slow. She wants to get out and run. They just haven't had an opportunity. I like the push from Blackwell from that post position to lead the break.
Yeah, she's so versatile and can get out and push on the break as Haley Troop, another turnover, commits the travel there. Asia Blackwell at the top of the list of all the rebounders in the country. Missouri pushed Baylor in non-conference with just a 2-point loss. I know Robin Pynchon was disappointed they didn't get that victory, but it was a fun matchup seeing Asia Blackwell going against Nalissa Smith in that game. You could tell Asia Blackwell really enjoyed being pushed in that game.
And a good measure of where she is. And we're talking about Nalissa Smith, a WNBA draft pick.
All the way in is Blackwell.
She's hyped. She wants to will her team back into this game. I know they had started slow. We're seeing much more sense of urgency from Missouri to start this second quarter. How about the defense?
Yeah, defense leading to offense once again. Dembella with another basket, and Missouri has drawn within 7. A 7-0 run now for the Tigers. Dembella almost got her hand on that one. Morrison trying to quiet the crowd. No. Stady grabs it in traffic, and then Missouri going to be called for a foul, reaching in.
I talked about rebounding out of that zone. Somebody put a body and really move Jenna Stady out. No. She's 6'4". She's going to use that length to her advantage.
That's the second foul. Yeah, the second foul on Haley Frank. Such a valuable part of the Missouri Tigers, and she's always outsized with this lineup that Missouri plays. So a tough assignment night in and night out against some of the bigs in the SEC. Barker lines up again, 3 for 3 now from beyond the arc. Blackwell answers. And then an offensive foul. Good hustle back by Asia Blackwell after she hit the three-pointer on the other end.
Well, the threes are falling in Columbia, and Sarah Ashley Barker continues to showcase how good she can be, but Asia Blackwell, not so fast, my friend, responds for the Tigers.
Missouri now 2 for 4 from beyond the arc as a team. Georgia 3 for 5, and Georgia only makes 3.5 three-pointers per game, so Georgia besting Missouri at their game so far for Joni Taylor's team. Offensive foul called on the Tigers. And a travel. Georgia's turned it over now 3 times in their last 4 possessions. See the turnovers mounting up 9-7 now. Missouri with a couple of more turnovers than Georgia, but it's gotten a little sloppy here in the second quarter. Blackwell, not this time. And it's going to stay this direction. Sarah Rose Smith was in there battling for the Tigers, the sophomore from Australia. 20 on the shot clock. Double team, and Hansen looked like she was in trouble, pinned against the sideline. A nice double team, but it was called out on Georgia. Missouri got down early at LSU. They were down by 11 at halftime and then came back and pushed that one into overtime in Baton Rouge and then lost on a last-second layup by Kayla Pointer. What a fun game that was to watch.
Oh, man, that was a good one. I mean, both of these teams so scrappy, tough, physical, gritty, never out of a game.
Morrison has missed 3 jumpers now here in the second quarter. As you look for
not afraid
the
of close
Tigers.
games for the
Yeah, how about that? 3 overtime games in the last 4 for the Tigers. Robin Pinchton and her staff trying to figure out how to just get things in order here. Sometimes it's not pretty. And Izzy Higginbottom into the game, the freshman out of Batesville, Arkansas, getting her first action tonight. What did that ball look like it bounced on the baseline as she inbounded it, but Blackwell working against Stady, no. Jenna Stady still hasn't scored for Georgia, and Q Morrison is having a struggle getting the ball to go in the basket this quarter after a great start. 23 points in the first quarter for Georgia, just 3 here in the second.
That's why it's so important players like Sarah Ashley Barker, Michaela Coombs step up and score when, you know, Jenna Stady may not be off to the best start. Q Morrison's missing shots.
There's Stady. Oh, just can't hang on to it. Right idea. She had great position, pinning her defender. Four turnovers for Georgia in the second quarter alone. Stady having to defend Blackwell out on the perimeter. Blackwell kicks out to Dembella. And a nice tip, keeping it alive with Smith. Higginbottom picks up the dribble. And Dembella setting things back up. Dembella, no! And Stady there for the rebound. Stady hasn't scored yet, but 5 rebounds already. And a nice pass inside and good score at the rim by Jordan Isaacs. It's been a tough second quarter for Georgia, but they got just what they needed there. Terrific passing. Isaacs with a nice shot inside. She's got 7 for Georgia.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Because when you're on a mission, you want to get it right the first time. That's where the Home Depot comes in, with an app to rent and reserve the right tools with just a tap. With convenient image search options, and with the ability to see how something looks in your space before you even buy it. It's how the Home Depot takes the guesswork out of the hard work. The Home Depot app, how doers get more done.
And it's NBA on ESPN time.
Is it LaMelo's time to shine on the parquet?
LaMelo ball! Got it!
Or will Boston defend their court and make a run?
Tatum!
Is it time for another Clippers comeback?
Reggie down the lane. Oh my goodness!
Or will the reigning MVP prove it's still Jokic time?
What can this big man do?
Hornets Celtics and Clippers Nuggets tomorrow on ESPN.
I'm ready.
Those of us that love Pat and knew her best wished we could have copied her. She had great character. She was incredibly tough.
Pat committed herself to the advancement of every woman.
She is 1 in a million.
We can get this done. Oh, yeah. You with me? Now let's get out there and get out. Let's go.
She's a life changer.
You're saying, Coach, I'd have no discipline. You got to be disciplined. Because she was so hard on me.
Because of the way she loved me. We back Pat.
We back Pat.
Yes, and we all back Pat. It's just so hard sometimes to think about how long she has been gone, but what an impact when you see all of those people that reflect on how she loved them, how she coached them, how she mentored them, how she inspired them. It just, her reach will go on for generation after generation, Steffi.
You know, as I've gotten a little bit further away from the game from when I graduated, because I was graduated in 2010, so I got to play against Pat just before she retired. And the further I've gotten away from my playing career, the more conversations you have with coaches and broadcasters, anyone that had, you know, some sort of relation with Pat Summitt. And it's the stories that like get told still to this day about her that really touch me. I mean, I might have a personal story about Pat Summitt, but like still to this day we're hearing stories about impact with a fan. Or let me tell you about my interaction with Pat Summitt. You know, that's something that just the legacy of her that just continues to live on. That's why we back Pat.
Absolutely. Even when I was back in Knoxville for the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame this summer and was at her statue, a family came up and were sharing their stories about being inspired by Pat. They weren't from the area, they were just visiting, and it was really cool to hear somebody that I didn't know, that really didn't know Pat that well, but talk about how much she had inspired them. And you know, it's so much more than the numbers, but the numbers are so impressive. The 1,098 wins, which would have been so much more had she not had to retire. 8 NCAA titles, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, but the lasting legacy of all that she inspired. Georgia leading 28-19 here at Mizzou Arena. It's been tough sledding for scoring, but Jenna Stady cleaning things up. She's averaging over 15 points per game. In the last 2 games, she's averaging over 21 points a game, and that's her first basket of the game. And from the top of the key, Haley Frank drains a 3. That's what you expect from Frank. Missouri needs more of that.
A shot of adrenaline for the Missouri Tigers, especially offensively. Haley Frank at that 5 position, drawing Jenna Stady out of the paint. You got to take that shot.
Stady trying to step in with the size advantage inside, but then gets called for 3 seconds. She had the defender pinned underneath. Georgia just couldn't get it to her.
We saw earlier Asia Blackwell taking Jenna Stady off the bounce, right, when she brings Stady up on the perimeter. And that's effective for Blackwell. I think, Frank, you can go either way, but especially from the 3-point line.
Here's Frank setting that screen. And another. Ooh, Lauren Hansen.
She got some swagger to her.
Barker comes up hobbling a little bit. You know, Lauren Hansen, that transfer from Auburn, she played last year for Missouri, but really coming into her own this year is Barker going to have to take a seat. What do you like best about Lauren Hansen's game?
I think she's a 3-level scorer because she can get to the rim. She can shoot the 3. I think she plays fearless, and that's been the biggest takeaway from me this season. And watching her game, she's got a year under her belt under Robin Pinchon in this system. She's got SEC experience. Jenna Stady, she got a lot of experience too.
And she cleaned that one up. Q Morrison is really struggling from the floor here in the second quarter. And Stady now with a couple of baskets in the paint helping Georgia's cause. There's Hansen once again. Man, she just makes it look so easy, doesn't she?
We showed that game-winning shot against South Carolina. You want to talk about a hard shot? Going into the paint against the #1 team in the country, some of the best bigs in the country.
Hollingshead gets called for the foul there. And Morrison is now 1 for 8 from the field. But let's take a look at that Hansen bucket.
See the read? Just tilts her head to Haley Frank. She's reading the defense. And I think that's why she's been such a good fit here at Missouri, is she's going to be put in opportunities and schemes where she can make the read.
Reach in foul on Georgia will put Asia Blackwell at the line. A foul is on Chapman, that's her first. Blackwell, 7 points so far. And she makes the first free throw. Well, Wednesday we'll have a men's basketball doubleheader for you, but we're featuring the second game. Mr. Double-Double Oscar Shibwe and number 12 Kentucky are in College Station taking on Quentin Jackson and the Texas A&M Balanced Attack. Our coverage of that game starts at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. I believe there was a lane violation on Georgia, which will give Blackwell another shot, and she makes Georgia pay and draws within 3. Georgia led by as many as 14 in this game, and now Missouri, and that stops the run as Georgia able to extend the lead back out to 5. Missouri with a final shot in the second quarter. Blackwell looking. Blackwell, hesitation, block, no. Hollingshead picks up another foul, trying to contain Blackwell. So that's the third foul for Jillian Hollingshead. Asia Blackwell, 2 for 2 at the free throw line. She's got 9 points. And Doro into the lineup for Missouri. Blackwell now in double figures. Sarah Ashley Barker's got 11 for Georgia, and now Blackwell has 9 points in this quarter. Morrison, no. And we've got a good one here at Mizzou Arena. Georgia led by as many as 14, but Missouri chipped away at the lead. They're down by 3 to the 13th ranked Georgia Lady Bulldogs at the half. Welcome back to Mizzou Arena as we honor Pat Summitt and her continued legacy both on and off the court. Georgia leading 34-31 here at Mizzou Arena along with Steffi Sorensen. I'm Brenda Van Lingen, and a lot happening in the SEC. Some great games we're seeing night in and night out. And right now, the AP poll comes out 5 SEC teams ranked in the top 25.
I mean, it's been such a fun ride. I mean, we're only just a handful of games into the season, but we've seen buzzer beaters. We've seen, Missouri taking down South Carolina. I think a big story, though, has been Tennessee. And they're undefeated in conference play. The way that they've been able to win defense and rebounding, this is a We Back Pat game. They're doing it Pat's way, right? The way that they're able to win games. And I think Ray Burrell is slowly coming back to good health. Will only be an added benefit. And, one thing that's not on here that I've got to drop, Lav Briggs from Florida just announced she's transferring to Maryland. So kind of a big loss for the Gators, who've been won 3 in a row, and they've been a good story in the league under Kelly Ray Finley, but Lav Briggs heading over to Maryland, so.
Wow. And as you look at the conference overall, we see the 5 that are ranked, but 10 are predicted to make it to the NCAA tournament, the most number of teams in any conference in the country. And it's an impressive list, and the games we see night in and night out really, I think, reinforce that.
Yeah, I think that there's a possibility to get 10 teams in, Brenda. The only way I feel that number goes down is if, teams Arkansas, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, they're beating up on each other, right? And they knock one out. I think that's the only way that 10 teams don't get in, but it's been a very fruitful league and the competition. And one thing, in talking to Kim Mulkey, I just did their game yesterday, she said in her first year in the SEC, she just enjoys all the different types of styles in this league and how competitive it is. And you think about how many teams have played LSU close. She's certainly, it's been tough, but she's enjoyed it.
So let's take a look at this game. We had quite a first half. Georgia jumping out to that big lead in the first quarter, and Missouri coming back, but it was Sarah Ashley Parker that got things started for the Lady Bulldogs.
Well, Joni Taylor has challenged her to get off to better starts, and she delivered. And she was hitting the 3-ball. She was active. She was aggressive. She set the tone. Jenna Stady, she struggled in the first quarter. She was more of a facilitator, but she got on the glass. And that's a great way to contribute to the Georgia offense, is get some offensive rebounds. No one's going to match you size for size on Missouri's roster. She took advantage of that. Asia Blackwell also presents a different type of challenge for Georgia. Just above 6 feet, Blackwell has so much versatility to her game because she can play in the post, she can run in transition, she can also drop dimes. Here we see her take on Jenna Stady, and she can hang with her, but I think this is where she's most dominant. Get on the perimeter, take someone off the bounce, or drill a 3. Either way, she's effective.
Barker hasn't missed a shot today. She's 4 for 4 from the field, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. As you see, Georgia out shooting Missouri in the first half. Missouri with those 10 turnovers, and both Blackwell and Barker with 11. So, Steffi, if Georgia's going to come in here and get the first victory on Mizzou Arena's court of the season, what's it going to take as they get another pass inside to set up the shot at the rim?
I think you continue to play inside out, and you get post touches. You got to knock down shots, and I think in the first half we saw Sarah Ashley Barker hit shots, Michaela Coombs. I'm looking forward to see what Q Morrison does. When the perimeter players for Georgia play well, that opens things up for their post players. kind of works both ways for Georgia's offense.
Well,
otherwise, Missouri can kind of just hang in the paint, Brenda, right? You know, if Georgia's not knocking down shots, they can clog the paint. When you got Barker and Morrison hitting shots, you got to defend that.
Well, then you've got Jordan Isaacs, who now has a season high with her 9 points. I mean, she's just averaging just over 2 points a game, and she's contributed 9, so they're getting contributions. We talked about Coombs in the first half. Barker with another, she misses that one, her first miss of the game, and it's wedged in between the backboard and the rim. If you're gonna miss a shot, miss it right?
I'm wondering who's gonna get up there and get it.
Roy Gobayan is under the basket. Where are your hops, Roy? Let's go. Our officials, I don't think we mentioned Jenna Cross,
Gotta get the broom.
Welch, and Roy Gobayan. And look at the hustle. We got a lot of shimmery outfits for Missouri today. Robin Pinchton's pants and that nice jacket. And Brittany Kuhl, the director of ops, coming through with the stick to poke at the ball. Thank you.
Yeah, I got to start thinking about my all-fashion team at the end of the year. I mean, that's always, it's big for me. I'm loving Robin Pinchton's pants tonight.
Nice pass to set up Haley Frank streaking to the basket. Q Morrison coming off that game against Alabama where she had 21 points. She was 7 of 11 in that victory. She's just 1 for 8 tonight. So they've got to find a way to get Q Morrison going, and a foul called on Georgia. On Isaacs, that's her 3rd foul, Steffi.
One thing that Georgia does have is they do have some depth, and Joni Taylor does rely on it. There's experience. She does have talented freshmen, but she's willing to play them in close games.
Nice backdoor cut by Hansen. 8 on the shot clock. Blackwell going to work, gets away from her, and good defense by Jordan Isaacs. Georgia has led the entire game. They got up by as many as 14 early, but Missouri has chipped away at it. Good rebound by Isaacs to give another possession to the Dogs. Coombs to Stady, good give and go. Stady can't get it to go, but Barker with another rebound.
Yeah, just offensive rebounding, killing Missouri in their zone right now. Sure, if it's an adjustment that has to be made, but can't give a Georgia team this many opportunities and not expect them to capitalize.
And then a foul going to be called on Haley Troop as she gets up under Jenna Stady. So that'll send Jenna Stady to the free throw line. Her first trip to the line tonight. And Troop's 2nd foul. Stady, a 77% free throw shooter on the year. She has had a great season this year, coming back for that extra COVID year, was named the ESPN National Player of the Week December 20th, and then how about the follow-up to give the 6-point lead? 12 second chance points for Georgia. But then the answer back for Missouri. When you can shoot the 3 the way Missouri does, no lead is insurmountable. Missouri now 5 of 10 from beyond the arc tonight. Stady scoops it up. Another offensive rebound. This time Q Morrison scores, and she'll get a chance to go to the free throw line for an and one.
Well, Missouri right now is just getting crushed on the glass. And it's not the first shot, it's the second one. Georgia all over the glass, and especially Q Morrison. This is going to fire her up. Has had a tough day from the floor in terms of her shooting.
Yeah, she was 1 of 8. Yeah, she was 1 of 8 before that. So she makes that basket and then gets a chance to add to her free throw total. She's 2 of 2 from the line. They can't make it 3 of 3. Blackwell to Frank. Haley Frank with 7 points tonight, but quickly to the other end is Michaela Coombs, and a timeout on the floor.
We've got a good one here, Brenda.
Yeah, you go ahead, Steph.
Georgia in transition, so dangerous. Lightning fast, Michaela Coombs filling it up.
Hulu has live TV? Hulu has live sports?
They do.
Hulu has live news?
That is correct. And Hulu also has
Live talent show.
It also has over 75 live channels.
Flip like cable, stream like Hulu. Time to have Hulu plus live TV.
So if my parents served,
you'd be eligible for USAA.
Grandparents.
As long as your parents joined.
What about if I can do this?
USAA, only for the military community.
You know, I played in the SEC, and when I would see her during games, Tyler was right there behind the bench, or even when she was cutting down the nets and he was on the ladder. At an early age, I understood and knew that it was okay to be a mother and still excel at a high level in the game of basketball. She set the tone for that to happen.
An inspiration in so many ways. Now Joni Taylor with her 2 daughters, JC and Drew, being such a role model to them and being influenced by Pat Summitt, her team up 43-36 here in the third quarter. Just yet another way that Pat Summitt's influence continues.
I always enjoy talking to Joni Taylor and kind of previewing this game. You know, they got here early, had some time on their hands, got some schoolwork done. Anything else that stood out to you that she said, Brenda?
Well, they were here since Saturday evening, so they rented out a local movie theater and took the team to Scream 3. And I think Joni Taylor gave it 2 thumbs up from what I could tell, but she said she was probably just there for the popcorn and the soda, to be honest.
She likes scary movies, so I would have liked to have been in the movie theater. See the movie too. I'll have to screen it myself.
Yeah, life's too scary for me. I'd rather not do scary movies. I'll leave that to you guys.
Oh, come on. That's what she said. Her team's kind of afraid of scary movies. Probably a nice little break just to, separate the game and just having fun. And they've come out here and played loose. Very focused.
And they've led from the opening tip, had that great start, jumped out to a 13-5 lead. Michaela Coombs picks up the foul there. That's her second. And this Missouri team is not a team you want to put on the free throw line, though. Haley Troop at the line, 67% free throw shooter, but they're number 1 in the SEC as a team at 72% from the line. And those 2 free throws draw the Tigers within 5. A foul away from the ball. And this one's called on number 40, Micah Linthicum, Her first foul as she checks out and Asia Blackwell checks back in. Stady inside, short.
Well, they clearly want to get to that SEC logo. You know, all their baskets in this quarter have been in the paint. Got 18 points in the paint, 14 second chance points. That's why Missouri's just got to do a better job of just getting that defensive rebound.
Scrapping for the extra opportunity. Blackwell can't get it to go. Great hustle for Missouri, but Blackwell is fouled.
This is going to fire up Missouri and get them some energy. It's loose balls, getting down on the ground, fighting for it, and then being able to get fouled and get to the free throw line.
So the foul was called on Barker. Yeah, on Barker. And that's just her first foul, and Blackwell makes one of 2 free throws. Jenna Stady just 1 for 6 from the field here in the third quarter. She gets a little closer that time, and now 2 for 7. Jenna Stady now with 11 points. Barker with 11 points to lead Georgia. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Both these teams 2-2 in the SEC standings, and both really want a win tonight to be able to keep within striking distance of the top tier. And a shot clock violation occurs for Missouri. That'll be our media timeout here in the third quarter. So Georgia continuing to lead, but just by 6 here with 4:43 to go in the third.
Not all.
USAA wouldn't let you in, huh? So you do or don't get up to 30% off your auto insurance with Safe Pilot? That's what I thought.
I'm going to get it, Frank. I'm going to get it.
USAA, only for the military community.
Number 13, Georgia, up 45-39 over Missouri. They have led throughout the game. Jenna Stady, 6 points in the first half, but just 2 for 7 in the second half. What's Missouri doing to keep the ball out of her hands, Steffi?
Well, when you're undersized, you're going to try and collapse and swarm around her. Check out how many Missouri defenders keep their foot in the paint, trying to swarm around her, trying to discourage the pass, but they're patient. Then they get the right angle. So yeah, Asia Blackwell's just a little bit too slow to rotate over. So Missouri has done a nice job of trying to make it difficult to make entry passes into Jenna Stady, but when they're patient, they've had success. So Missouri just has to play through that full 30, because clearly Georgia has the height advantage with Jenna Stady. She's 6'4", right? So they want to get her the ball. You got to do everything you can to collapse into that paint, discourage those passes.
And Joni Taylor has to be happy about the second chance points also for Georgia. They have 8 offensive rebounds to 7 for Robin Pinchton's squad, but Georgia has 14 second chance points and Missouri only 3. There's that collapsing defense around Jenna Stady. That time they didn't let her get it.
Perfect execution for Missouri defensively. You know what Georgia wants to do. She got to take it away. Now they got to get consecutive stops. 1 stop, 2 stop, 3 stops. We know that they're capable of scoring in bunches.
Lauren Hansen backs it out. And good defense by Coombs to knock it away from Haley Frank. Barker, no. She was 3 for 3 from beyond the arc in the first half, but has missed a couple here in the second.
We're talking about Missouri crowding. Yeah, Missouri wants to crowd Jenna Stady, not make it easy. And so when you've got 3-4 players all in on the action, it's going to make it even harder to get it into Jenna Stady. There, Missouri executes perfectly.
So the good Missouri defense, but they started the quarter 2 for 3 from the field, but they've missed their last 4 shots. Good pressure defense from Georgia, but Blackwell gets loose underneath. Asia Blackwell now with 17 points to lead all scorers and draw Missouri within 4. Stady, reverse pivot, gets it.
She's just got that ability to step out and hit those little bunnies, you know. Brenda, she just draws so much attention, and Haley Frank spinning around her, trying to do anything she can, fronting her, playing behind Jenna Stady, but offensively just so skilled.
Blackwell has it blocked by Coombs. And then the foul's called.
Got our stars showing out tonight. Blackwell, she just plays with so much passion and intensity, and then you got smooth, steady Stady on the other end. Just gets it done. Both players, though, having a huge impact on their teams tonight.
See the dynamic duos for both these teams and how they're doing tonight. Frank's been a little quiet. Blackwell picked up her second foul on a frustration foul on the other end. Georgia can't score inside. Frank just 3 for 7 overall from the field, has only made 1 3-pointer, but Blackwell being aggressive and being fouled. And Blackwell having some words as the Missouri Tigers huddle up. So Blackwell will go to the line. The foul was on Mallory Bates. You could see Asia Blackwell took a little offense to that foul. Blackwell makes the first free throw. On Friday night, what a gymnastics triple header we have for you on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Number 2 Florida and the Georgia Gym Dogs get us started at 6 Eastern. Then it's number 10 Alabama hosting number 9 Kentucky. And we wrap up the night with number 11 Arkansas and number 5 LSU. Barker can't get the second attempt to go, and then she fouls Blackwell. That's the second foul for Barker.
And in this quarter in particular, the guards along the perimeter they've gone cold, right? Sarah Ashley Barker, she's not hitting shots. Q Morrison's been really quiet. Michaela Coombs, the same thing. So that allows Missouri's zone to just clog and sit right in the paint, try to make it tough for Stady. The guards have got to start knocking down shots, so that'll open things up. They got to respect the jump shot, which is how Georgia built that lead in that first half.
Well, Missouri wouldn't be anywhere without Asia Blackwell. She's got 9 of the 13 points scored by Missouri here in the third quarter to keep them within striking distance. Georgia's led the entire game. They led by as many as 14 in the first half. Missouri's never been able to overcome the lead, but they've stayed close. Stady double team. Morrison trips, and it's going to be a shot clock violation for Georgia. Well, it looked like she just
lost her
stepped on.
footing.
Yeah, it looked like she stepped on Blackwell's foot.
Yeah.
So Missouri has an opportunity to tie it here with a 3. And then a foul called away from the ball. Blackwell was getting into it with Barker on the block. Roy Gobayan stepping in and whistling the foul. Watch here on the block. Boy, Blackwell might have cleared a little space there.
She definitely did. I mean, it's getting chippy between the two of them.
That's a 3rd foul on Barker. Blackwell misses both. She's now 8 of 12 from the free throw line. She's got 20 points, but misses both free throws there. Mallory Bates can't get it to go. Stady couldn't reel it in, and here comes the Tigers. Dembella, 10 on the shot clock. Troop looking for a screen from Frank. Throws into traffic. Tough shot.
Just good defense by Georgia. Understanding the scout. Great help side defense.
Morrison into the paint. Nice dish off, scores. And a nice way for Georgia to extend the lead at the end of the quarter. Q Morrison with 6 assists now for Georgia, setting up Mallory Bates on that drive to the basket. Morris not scoring well herself, but sets up her teammate, and Georgia leads by 5.
And it's NBA on ESPN time.
Is it LaMelo's time to shine on the parquet?
LaMelo ball. Got it.
Or will Boston defend their court and make a run?
Tatum on it.
Is it time for another Clippers comeback?
Reggie down the lane. Oh, my goodness.
Or will the reigning MVP prove it's still Jokic time?
What can't this big man do?
Hornets Celtics and Clippers Nuggets tomorrow on ESPN.
I'm ready.
Doug. And it's easy to customize your insurance at libertymutual.com, so you only pay for what you need. Isn't that right, Limu? 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 Sorry, 1 sec. Yeah. There he is.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Georgia leading 49-44 as we start the 4th quarter, and the Stars, Jenna Stady and Asia Blackwell have led the way so far for both their teams.
Jenna Stady has just been so much to handle for this Missouri defense, and at her height at 6'4", but her skill set where she can take it off the bounce, great positioning inside the post. Already got 13 and 10, and Asia Blackwell, man, her back's gonna be sore tomorrow. She's been carrying Missouri tonight. 20 points, 9 boards, doing it all, getting out in transition, shooting the 3. I think she's been the most aggressive Missouri player. I would like to see Haley Frank kind of match that intensity, come out, hit some big threes for them, because Asia Blackwell needs a little bit of help if Missouri wants to pull out and get a win.
You know, it's amazing when you think about it. Asia Blackwell did not even play in that upset victory over South Carolina for Missouri. They only had 8 players available that day. She's got 20 points, on the verge of a double-double, as she averages 13 rebounds per game. And Jenna Stady already with the double-double tonight. And you're right, both teams needing others to step up. Q Morrison not shooting so well. Haley Frank not at her usual clip in this game. So here we go to start the 4th quarter. Can Georgia get the first victory here at Mizzou Arena by an opponent this season? Morrison short, still struggling from the field. She's now 2 for 12. And Barker picks up her 4th foul.
And an unfortunate one, too, because it's not like she was, trying to bump into Blackwell or anything like that, but they pick her up for the foul, and a costly one. I mean, this is a player who's been proven to be clutch at the end of games. She's the player who hit that game-tying long 3-ball against NC State.
That's right. She came out so hot in this game, making her first 4 shots, 3 of them from beyond the 3-point arc, but she's on the bench now with 4 fouls. Haley Frank, we said, needed to get going, and what a move by Jenna Stady inside. Frank now with 9 points for the Tigers. Georgia holding on to a 3-point lead.
It was a good play call, too, by Robin Pynchon, knowing she needs to get Frank going a little bit in this 4th quarter. Blackwell is doing her thing.
Double team on Stady. She comes up short. Blackwell now has another double-double. 13 on the year for Blackwell. Straight away, no. And a foul going to be called on Dembella on the rebound. Frank didn't get the 3, but she did get the 2 earlier.
Love the fact that she utilizes that footwork that she's got around the rim. I mean, she's a player that can play anywhere on the court. She plays positionless. She can play along the perimeter. She can play in the post. Showcasing some post moves against 6'4" Jenna Stady there.
Stady at the high post. Georgia, their 2 wins in SEC play. That's Dembella with the foul. The 2 wins for Georgia in SEC play over Alabama and Florida. Their 2 losses, LSU and Kentucky. They were preseason picked to finish 4th in the SEC. They're ranked 13th in the country. They need to get another win. They don't want to drop to 3 losses in SEC play right now. But Missouri would love nothing more than to pull off another upset here on their home court. Blackwell changing directions, well defended. Now one-on-one. Spin and the travel call. Fourteen turnovers now for Missouri. And a foul going to be called on Frank, trying to push Stady off the block. That's her 3rd foul.
Different situations for both coaches. Georgia does have the luxury of having a deeper bench where Blackwell, Frank, those are players that can't pick up fouls. They can't go to the bench. Robin Pynchon doesn't have that type of depth. They're going to have to be smart with their fouls and keep themselves on the floor. I know Blackwell's getting a break right now, but a great steal by Q Morrison.
Boy, and Lauren Hansen was out in front of everybody, but you're not going to get a lot of long passes past Q Morrison. Co-defensive player of the year last year in the SEC. Dembella gets a hand on it, but goes out of bounds. Just 10 seconds on the shot clock for Georgia. Georgia hasn't made a shot yet this quarter, 0 for 4. The lob. And the score, what a play to set up Smith. Lauren Hansen with 10 points. She's made a couple of three-pointers, but well defended. Stady all over, forces a step back. That's a tough shot. Good defense by Jenna Stady on the perimeter. Morrison, can she get it going? Yes, Morrison with her first three-pointer and a big shot to give Georgia the 8-point lead.
Not a coincidence that she gets the steal and that she gets that confidence right back to hit that three.
Not a coincidence because her defense fuels her offense, right?
Absolutely. She's become more of a complete player now as a senior.
Frank from deep gets it to go!
Wow.
Haley Frank now with 2 3-pointers. She's got 12 points. She's got all of Missouri's points. 5 here in the fourth quarter. Morrison to Stady, runs into a couple of defenders, and that's going to be a foul on Missouri. That's going to be on Haley Frank. That's her 4th.
Brenda, look how far back Frank is. I mean, this is your 5 player, your post player, who was top 10 in the country in terms of accuracy from the three-point line.
So that's a huge foul. Haley Frank picking up her 4th foul, and it's also the 4th team foul of the quarter. So every foul after this for Missouri will send Georgia to the free throw line. Stady makes that free throw. Again, you think about how valuable Haley Frank is. She is number 2 in the conference in field goal percentage at 6'1". She's number 1 in the conference in three-pointers made per game at 2.5. She needs to be on the court, and she's got 4 fouls right now for Missouri. There she is, Morrison on her. Blackwell out to Frank, boom. Haley Frank now with 15 points. She has all 8 of the Tigers' points here in the fourth quarter. Stady goes right up over Frank. Frank gonna test her, try to get her 5th foul. They don't call it, and Frank comes away with it. Frank has to get away from her. I thought that was a double dribble. She dropped it first, but no, just was gathering it and hits a huge three-pointer to draw Missouri within 1.
Haley Frank. Oh my goodness.
11 points for Haley Frank here in the fourth quarter, and Georgia goes back to Stady, and this time Haley Troop picks up the foul.
Brenda, it is chilly outside, but it is heating up inside in Columbia. Emotions high, so much at stake here in the SEC. Who's gonna win it out? Come back.
Every day.
Juliana Pena looking to spin this MMA world on its axis.
This crowd ready to celebrate.
Doug. And it's easy to customize your insurance at libertymutual.com, so you only pay for what you need. Isn't that right, Limu? 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 Sorry, 1 sec.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Haley Frank is playing with 4 fouls, but she has 11 points here in the fourth quarter to draw Missouri within 3. We got 4:22 remaining, but Haley Frank is on fire in the fourth.
Well, playing out of her mind, going right at Jenna Stady in the post with the threes. Check out the distance. And again, she's been playing fearless in this fourth quarter, stepping up, knowing her team needs buckets big time, and the bench loves it. How could they not?
18 points overall. She's 4 of 6. We talked about how she needed to step up, and she certainly has, but she's playing with those 4 fouls. Keep in mind, Georgia has led this entire game. They jumped out to a 14-point lead early. Missouri came back. They had gotten no closer than 3 points until that last three-pointer by Frank closed it within 1. Then Georgia answered with the Stady bucket. That's how we got to this 3-point game. Georgia has never given up the lead the entire game. Missouri has not lost at home all year long. It's setting up a lot of drama for the last 4:22 here in Columbia, Missouri. Jenna Stady was 17 points. She's just got 1 free throw to try to complete the 3-point play, and she does, to give Georgia a 4-point cushion. The kick out to Frank. She's got the hot hand. Not this time. That would have been her 4th three-pointer of the quarter.
Georgia, I'm looking to go right inside to Jenna Stady. You want to get Haley Frank in a situation where she's just got to play hands-off defense, and it's an easy bucket for Stady. She's got 4.
Sarah Ashley Barker is back on the court for Georgia. She's got 4 fouls as well. Q Morrison comes around the Stady screen, gets that one to go. She's got 11 points now. So Missouri had gotten within 1, and Georgia answers back with a 5-0 run with the Stady 3-point play and the Q Morrison bucket. Hansen, that one looked like it got away from her, but they're saying off Morrison, so just 4 seconds on the shot clock for Missouri.
Pensions does such a great job late in the shot clock of designing plays. It could be Frank, it could be Blackwell or Hansen. I mean, she's got options offensively.
Blackwell, blocked by Stady. And Georgia going to take some time. Joni Taylor calling out the play. Michaela Coombs setting it up. Again off the screen, Morrison, no. Coombs tips it out, and another possession. Another offensive rebound for Georgia. Offensive rebounds for Georgia, and another second chance point. This extends the lead to 8.
You get Haley Troop sitting right behind Stady. She's defenseless. It's an easy bucket for Georgia. It's been the second chances that Missouri's allowed Georgia to have that have plagued them this whole game.
Frank saves it. The officials blowing the whistle, indicating the shot clock needed to be reset because Georgia had gained possession. A stopping play to correct the shot clock. Robin Pinchton said, "We got the ball and we were moving forward. Why did you stop play?" But the shot clock hadn't reset fully. Georgia is on a 7-0 run. Frank defended by Stady. Blackwell gets away from 2 defenders and cuts the lead to 63-57. That's the first time somebody other than Haley Frank has scored for Missouri this quarter. Barker driving on Troop. Blackwell cleans it up.
So he's got to play with some pace here. 90 seconds left.
Frank can't get it to go. Dembella can't knock it away. And a big rebound for Michaela Coombs. 1:10 remaining in the game. And a foul called on Mama Dembella. It will send Georgia to the free throw line. 4th foul for Dembella. Well, tonight, SEC Inside grants you an all-access pass to college football playoff national championship game between Georgia and Alabama. That's at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Then it's a look at this season's #1 ranked South Carolina women's basketball team. You'll get never-before-seen footage and sound from players and coaches, a real behind-the-scenes look only on the SEC Network and the ESPN app coming up after this game. 1 minute to go. Frank is fouled by Stady. That's just the 2nd team foul of the quarter. That's only Jenna Stady's 1st foul of the game. So Missouri going to have to overcome a 7-point deficit here in the last minute to remain undefeated on its home court. The kick to Hansen. And Jenna Stady with the rebound, and Hansen has to foul. So as hot as Missouri was earlier in the quarter, they've missed 3 3-pointers. And Georgia with a chance to go try to ice it at the free throw line.
Hansen had a great look at it too, Brenda. Extra pass. Her feet were set.
Yeah, that's a shot that usually goes down for Missouri. Hansen, a 42% three-point shooter, but Stady at the line, hits another free throw. She's got 21 points and 12 rebounds now. And hits the second. The last 3 games in a row now, she's averaged 21 points per game. Missouri has to hurry. Off the screen, long. Haley Frank into Blackwell, and then Blackwell gets tangled up again inside against Jordan Isaacs.
Jordan Isaacs pleading her case because Blackwell has been talking to a lot of the Georgia players. Whoever's been guarding her, she's been talking to them, letting them know.
But Jenna Cross stepping in with a little preventative officiating. Isaac
preventative officiating, I like that term.
Don't let anything get out of control.
Blackwell, see how she...
Yeah, that was a little back and forth. Isaacs swatted down, Blackwell pushed. Isaacs swatting back, and Roy Gobain stepping in to try to prevent anything more from escalating. That's 4 fouls on Isaacs. So this is not what you want to do, though, if you're Georgia, right? Stop the clock and give Missouri a chance to shoot free throws. Blackwell now 8 of 13 from the free throw line, has missed 5 free throws. Connects on the second, and Missouri going to pick up full court. A lot of precious time went off the clock as Missouri tried to chase it down to commit the foul. Q Morrison will go to the line. Now, this Georgia team, Steffi, has not started games well in SEC play. In 3 of their first 4, they were down by 16 or more points early in the game, but they came out red hot at the beginning of this game. They've had a week off to prepare, and they've never let Missouri lead in this game.
The way that they've had to battle all the types of runs Missouri has thrown their way in front of their home fans, and they've answered. They've responded. And one thing that Joni Taylor talked to us about was this team playing well with different lineups. We've seen foul trouble. She's had to throw in a bunch of different role players, bench players, and at times it wasn't pretty, but it's all about maintaining that lead.
Blackwell gets around everybody and scores for Missouri. And then a timeout for Missouri. So 25.2 seconds remaining. Robin Pinchton's squad within 8. That is, though, Georgia still on a 12-5 run since Missouri cut this game within 1. Georgia led by Jenna Stady tonight with 22. Q Morrison has 14. Sarah Ashley Barker with 11, 11 all in the first half. Well, Sunday the 23rd, the 11th annual We Back Pat Week continues with a women's basketball quadruple header that starts with 2 games on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Number 23, Kentucky hosts Ole Miss at noon Eastern, 11 Central. Then the 5th-ranked Lady Vols are in Athens to take on this number 13 Georgia team. What a game that will be. Tennessee currently sitting all alone at the top of the SEC standings at 6-0. Looking forward to that. There's so many games, Steffi, that we're looking forward to in SEC play, and this has been a good one. Missouri cut it within 1. 56-55, but Georgia with the answer down the stretch. Q Morrison is fouled. Again, precious ticks off the clock with about 6 seconds escaping the clock for Missouri's chance at a comeback.
Yeah, obviously they're trying to get a steal, so letting it play out a little bit, but valuable time has gone off, and the last 90 seconds is almost like Missouri just went ice cold when they were so hot, and they got back to cut this thing to 1.
So Blackwell picked up her 3rd foul. But you're right, just the answer by Georgia in a tough place to play. Nobody has beaten Missouri on their home court this year, and Georgia has not relinquished their lead the entire game, starting the game with the lead and keeping it from start to finish. And now a 10-point advantage for the Lady Bulldogs. And the clock started to run even though Missouri hadn't inbounded it yet, so they're going to have to go correct that. Georgia taking care of business at the free throw line. 7 of 8 from the free throw line down the stretch. And the block. The Georgia defense is really the story of this game, right, Steffi?
Yeah, I mean, the way that they close this thing out, too, it seems like every time a jump shooter got close to the rim, it was a block shot, or they shied away from the contact, especially outside of Haley Frank and Asia Blackwell. I mean, they got Lauren Hansen pretty quiet in the second half. They kept her in check.
Hugh Morrison stole the ball away, and Lauren Hansen commits the foul. Joni Taylor's squad held Missouri to just 39% shooting. This is a team that shoots 46% typically. So next they have at Mississippi State. Then, as we mentioned, they'll have Tennessee at home next Sunday, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, and Florida for their upcoming stretch of games. Morrison overcoming tough shooting from the field, but great from the free throw line. Finishes with 18 points. Blackwell gets one for Missouri, but that's going to be it. Georgia comes away with the victory, gives Missouri their first loss at home this year as Joni Taylor and Robin Pinchton come together. 13th ranked Lady Bulldogs with the 10-point victory in Columbia tonight.
What a game, Brenda. It was absolutely entertaining. Hats off to Georgia for the way that they were able to really win this game on the defensive end, shutting down Missouri when it mattered the most.
Yeah, Missouri had pulled within 1 point at 56-55, but Georgia closed it out and come away with the victory. Jenna Stady leading the way, 22 points, 12 rebounds for the All-SEC honoree. Hugh Morrison following up with 18 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. As Missouri coming together at half court, going to have to regroup after losing their first game at home. And now we have an opportunity to speak to the leading scorer for Georgia tonight, Jenna Stady. Jenna, nobody's come into Columbia and gotten a victory this year. What did it take for you to get that good start tonight and then hold on?
That's something that we harped on. We knew it was going to be, it's a tough place to play. They're a great team. They shoot the ball really well at home. They're tough to beat here. We knew we had to come off right from the jump, and I think everyone that came on the floor tonight did what was asked.
Jenna, Missouri is such an interesting team where they've got pretty much 5 guards out there on the floor. What was it like for you on both ends of the floor against Missouri tonight?
Well, you know, I think I could have done a little better guarding for them, but I just knew I couldn't give up the 3. I think I did give up a couple, but just staying down and you know, it was help defense. If I don't give up a 3, they can drive right into our paint. And I think our guards, if I didn't give up the 3, they did a great job tonight helping me out. And you know, offensively, I think we took advantage in the second half, the size advantage.
Yeah, you were able to get those offensive rebounds. Now, when Missouri closed it within 1 here late in the fourth quarter, what did it take for you to finish this thing off?
I think we just stick to us, stick to what we do. Defense. I think everybody kept cool. You know, the thing about this team that I love and I love playing with them is nobody gets frantic, and that keeps us cool and calm. So that's just something I love about us.
What can you guys use from this game and build on as you're moving forward in SEC play?
Well, every game's a tough game, and if we can grab a win on the road, especially at a place like Missouri, stay tough. That's all we got to do.
All right, well, stay tough. Thanks for joining us, Jenna, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Jenna
Stady, the leading scorer tonight for the Bulldogs. 22 points and 12 rebounds for the 6'4" graduate student and All-SEC honoree. The victory for Georgia tonight, 72-62 over Missouri, giving the Tigers their first loss at home. For Steffi Sorensen, I'm Brenda Van Lingen saying so long from Columbia, where the final score was 72-62.